Hello and welcome back. Now that we have talked about how to realize a use case, let us end this section by looking at the role played by UML diagrams as part of our design thinking.
So one of the primary misconceptions or misunderstandings or an inherent assumption that many of us make about UML is to think about UML only from a documentation perspective. And I think that's not the right way to look at UML. Yes, documentation is one of the way in which we can actually use UML, but that is not what we are actually trying to advocate as part of this particular course. For me, UML and UML diagrams are always about thinking about a design at an abstract level, abstracted higher on terms of code, thinking in terms of diagrams, and once having visualized it, it just becomes that much more easier for me to go and communicate that with to somebody else. So for me, UML is about UML sketching and about UML thinking. And I would urge all of you to look at UML from this particular perspective and not just from a documentation standpoint, which I think is a very narrow way of how you could look at how and where UML can actually be used from. So that's been the entire focus of this particular course, and I sincerely do hope that you guys are able to see uh, where else and how else we can actually make use of UML in a much better.
With that, we come to the end of this particular video where we looked at the various roles that UML diagrams can play and the importance of UML diagrams as part of our design thinking. The next section will be the last section of this course where we look at the course summary.